Bonjour and good morning. Saturday the 18th of January. Hello 2020. So back at the house, no break-ins, no water leaks, everything's good, so a good start to the year. I've got a van full of new goodies to add to the house. If you remember Alan was the lovely man who helped me build the house initially. He had a load of this 16mm underfloor heating pipe lying around, so he's kindly donated that. So that's going to do probably most of the bedrooms and most of the bathrooms. So that's a great saving. That's about 800 quid worth of pipe there, so that was great. I'm now going to proceed to get the van emptied. The job that I'm going to be working on for the next couple of days is painting the vaulted ceiling. The reason for that is basically the aluminium scaffold which I'm borrowing off a friend. He wants it back, and it's so much easier to use than this big heavy stuff which I have long term. So I'm just going to use that to quickly get this painted. Then we can clear out, get the insulation down, and then we can start getting the piping down, and the job will really move on. So anyway, let's start the year as I mean to go on. Plenty of waffling and plenty of hard work. Right then, that can sit there out of the way for a while. I was buying loads of little bits and pieces when I was in England because, you know, some things are a hell of a lot cheaper there. So one of the things I have bought so this goes up between your guttering and your well, on top of the fascia, and that sits underneath the tiles. So what that does is that stops any little mice, rodents, rats, all sorts, any sorts of creatures from getting into your roof space, which you definitely don't want, because the previous house that was there that I knocked down, we found these like little mice thing, and obviously they eat the electrics and that, so that's the reason I bought that. And also we've got loads and loads of this. This is I can't remember the correct name for it. I don't know if it's got a name on it. But basically what that does, I think you call it a fascia tray, but that sits on top of the rafter. The underfelt sits on top of that, so any water runs down onto that, and then this bit here sits in the gutter, and it basically protects the bottom part of your truss from rotting out if any water, like, you know, sucks back under the underfelt and sits there. So that's what that's for. I'll explain it later in an upcoming video, but I'm going to fit that when the weather's a lot better, so that'll be in a few months. But I've just bought that. Bought a bit of emulsion over with me because that was cheap from B&M, so that's just going to be used as a mist coat. And then we got a whole box of goodies in there which we'll go through in a minute. Right, it's not very exciting, this first job, because obviously it's painting, and we all know my views on painting, so really all I got to do is just clean up this purl in here a little bit, just get off any bits of plaster, clean it all up, so a light sanding, quick wipe, and it is literally ready for the first couple of mist coats. So that's what I'll do. So I'm going to tape this up and cover it with some paper to stop it getting covered in any flecks of paint, because then that'll save up hassle cleaning. So let's start. Right, this is going to be the first of a fair few hundreds of litres that we're going to use on this build. One of my least favourite jobs. It's never going to be interesting this stage of what I'm doing. So I've now put 2 coats on this. It's looking really nice. I always do 2 mist coats, or piss coats as we call it. So I've got that emulsion. I do about a 1 in 4 rough. You do 50-50, it's like water, so it's just not really that great to use. So I do it a little bit thicker, but it still sucks in. And hopefully we'll have a lovely finish to show for afters. I'll just continue. There's no point filming because it's rubbish. So I've literally painted all 4 bays now, 2 coats, with the mist coat, the piss coat. This is the final bay getting done. So what I need to do is go pick up some of that matte acrylic paint that I like using for the 2 final coats, and hopefully this ceiling will look lovely. And then the plan is get the electrician around, have a chat with him. I'm going to see about getting the spotlights all put in, because what I'm thinking is if we can get the lighting in here, we've got a nice big work area that's all lit up, so I can continue working in the evenings if need be. Right, that's that all done, so I'll let that dry and come back and put a coat on Monday for that. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do next, but we'll see in the next clip. Next video clip. Bonjour, good morning. It is Sunday the 19th of January 2020. Right, so my body is really hurting after yesterday. I haven't worked for a month and I have been pretty lazy, just resting up at home. So I'm extremely stiff, my back's hurting, my neck's hurting from all this stupid rollering action I had to do yesterday. I must admit, I'm really pleased with the first 2 coats. Obviously with this Latisse 2000, because it's a white plaster and we're putting white paint over the top, already with just the 2 mist coats, it's looking quite good with the coverage. I will still put 2 coats of undiluted paint over the top just to get a nice brilliant white, which is what we're looking for. So it's going to be pretty much the same as yesterday. We're cut in, roller it, jobs are good. And should I film it? Probably not, will I? Probably for a little bit. Why not? So let's get cracking. What a spare the torture of having to watch any more painting. Right, that is all 4 bays done. It's actually looking really good. What I'm going to do is I'll bring out the spotlights. I'll mark out and mark where the spotlights are coming. I probably will put another coat of paint on, but that'll be at a much, much later date. There's no point really doing a final coat, because when we build these walls up either side, we're going to have to feather it in to match it all up, so there will be a bit of extra painting, so I might as well leave that. Happy days. I'm still really undecided. Maybe you could say in the comments. I'm going to ask a few other people. So I've kept these purlins and ridge beams in excellent condition. We were really careful when we put them in to not damage them, so they look great. Now I'm thinking paint them grey. I'm thinking a nice grey, or do you think just keep them El Natural with a little bit of a stain on it just to bring out the grain? I don't know. I'm not a designer, you know what I mean? I'm a builder. So it's like, oh, I don't know what would look better. But I want modern minimalist. you know, I want, you know, really up to date style. So that's why I'm sort of thinking, I think painted grey would look really nice. But then again, it does look quite nice with just the plain wood. Yeah, let me know in the comments. Right, tomorrow, because it's Sunday today, so I can't get nothing. Tomorrow, I'm going to go off, go get some wood and some batten. The plan is I'm going to batten this wall out, and then basically I'm going to put OSB on the whole wall, and then plasterboard it. The reason for that is that's where the meter's going, it's where the chaufeur's going, and it's where the underfloor heating manifold's going to be going. So we're going to want a nice secure wall to fix everything to. These hollow blocks, to be totally honest, they're not brilliant for getting fixings. You can get okay fixings, but it's not, you know, brilliant. Whereas if we batten it out, you've got solid fixings the whole way through for a relatively small amount of money. Just so you know, with the chauffeur, obviously, because they weigh a lot, it's going to be a 200 litre one. What I'm going to do is basically drill right the way through, all the way through, and then I'm going to be bringing 10mm threaded bar through, bolted on that side, bolted on this side, and then the chauffeur will hang from that. So it will be extremely well supported. There won't be no risk of having to worry about that. And I think there's a sale on it at Bricko, so I might start buying the flooring for up there, because I need to clear this whole area for when we do the underfloor heating, and all the gear's got to go somewhere. Long term, I want that boarded out anyway, so I might just go get a load, temporarily board it out so I can get materials up there to hide it out the way, and then we can start getting this floor finally done. So less waffling, let's come back tomorrow. Bonjour, good morning. We're at a different location. Buying goodies, buying all the guttering. We're at one of my favourite places. It's Tridome in the Bergerac. Really good. This is pretty much predominantly the best place to get a lot of materials. Some are a little bit more expensive, but by the time you drive back and forth to the other places like the Bricko and that, it just works out better to come here for most things. So I've just got a load of lengths of guttering. I'm just getting all the brackets now, and then we'll go back and start fitting that as well, amongst other things. I'm now at Bricko Cash, getting all the flooring to do the attic room. Right, I'm back at the house. I've now got to offload all of this, which is always a pain when you're on your own, because it takes forever. Right, let's get cracking. We've got 15 of these to load up into the attic, so I'll take one in. We'll set up a bit of a scaffold system to load it all up there. That's the last one of them. I've now got to get the boards in for where we're putting the chauffeur and the electrics.